Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Secrets Within. This evening, I am talking with something Wicked Paranormal. I'm not sure where they went, but I do know that they have a YouTube video out right this second. So while we're waiting for them, I do want to say that I did end up getting my nice copy. Not that everybody can see, that Tori Smith and Josh Hurd wrote. It's actually kind of a, good book. So, so they're going to be joining us now, and we're going to be talking about their cool stuff. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
All right. So I know I've had you guys on the show before, and we kind of talked about, you guys were kind of getting started. And now you guys have some YouTube videos out.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I did see the one where you guys were at the cemetery. And I can't recall what cemetery that was. I don't know if you guys can elaborate on that. If you guys, like, what findings you've found there.
That was Myers Cemetery. That was up in McNaughton Park, out in the woods. I actually had a friend of mine that told me about it from work. So we went up there and looked for it. We did get quite a bit of activity up there the first few nights that we were up there. How many trips did we take?
I don't even remember. We've been up there several times, actually.
It's so close. It's kind of ridiculous. I even took my daughter up there one day.
Yeah.
But oh man, the video itself was an hour long. But if I wanted to show everybody everything that we got, it'd probably be almost a 2-hour video.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the process of making a second video to kind of go along with the Myers Cemetery, because we did go back. We ended up getting a permit to stay the whole night. Since it was a park. Oh yeah, since it was a park, we had to be out by 10. So every time we went up there, we was only able to spend a couple hours, and it's a 20-minute, half-hour walk. So we didn't want to get towed away or get in trouble. But yeah, we went to the park and talked to them, and they gave us the approval to go.
So what is it that you guys got while you were there? Or if you want to talk about a different place that you guys were at. Like I said, I haven't watched all of your YouTube videos. I only seen the one. Like I said, I'm not really on YouTube all that much. Usually probably just play music. But so what did you guys get, if you guys can talk about that at all? I mean,
I think majority of it we had Chris. Chris. We had him up there one time. He was taking a bunch of stills. We did get a bunch of orbs, dominant,
Colored
orbs. We had red orbs that were coming out.
and I want to just add, it was just red orbs that you guys got, or was there?
We had a green orb. We had a few white ones. I mean, you can tell between an orb and a bug. These were orbs,
Mm-hmm.
And we did get a couple of shots of some apparitions. We got one apparition where I was standing there, and I think it was by that tree. You can tell there's a lady, like an old Victorian dress type deal, standing right behind me. We did get some spirit box.
You did get the hand behind that tree.
Yes.
Yeah. That's very hard to figure out how that happened. We caught a hand that wasn't any of ours. Looked like one of ours, but there was no physical way it could have been from where everybody was standing. So we're baffled on it. That's on the first
video.
First video.
It's actually kind of towards the end. I think the last 15, 20 minutes of it.
Yeah, and then the pictures and stuff that he's talking about, we're going to release the second video.
Yeah. I know, we did do some spirit box.
Now, what did you guys, if you guys,
What's that?
can you guys talk about what you guys got on the spirit box at all? Or you guys
Oh yeah,
can't
yeah,
do any of
yeah.
that?
Let's see. We did get some names that come up that was relevant to some of the graves there. Caroline. Oh, do you want to tell her about that connection?
Oh, yeah, girl. Got a phone call after the video was released. Someone who watched the video started feeling really anxious right off the bat on the way to the cemetery. And they said when I walked through those gates, they felt overwhelmed with emotion. And when I got emotional, they got emotional, and it kind of hung with them through the whole video. And when they went to bed, they were visited by a young lady and said her name was Caroline. He was trying to communicate with her. And Caroline has been going back through this person and talking and saying that she's scared. And the person that called me didn't know any of the history. So I told her there is a Caroline in that cemetery and she's 10. And she said that made a lot of sense. She said she was scared of the dark and scared of the people. I think she was referring to us because it had been abandoned, basically. It was grown up, probably didn't have any visitors. So it may have been us that she was afraid of. So what we did on this next video when we went back up there, the person that had called me requested for us to take a solar light and put up there with her so she didn't have to be in the dark. So we did that. But it was just really interesting that this girl came to this person to talk to about the cemetery and everything. It was crazy.
And I want to give out a huge shout out to Chris. You guys know who Chris is.
Yep.
He's watching, and I do know that he is the, quote me if I'm wrong, he is the photographer that works with you guys on occasion.
Yes.
Yep.
Very good photographer.
Very good. I really like his work. He's done a lot with his camera work, talent, a lot of talent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's an amazing photographer. I mean, I got the opportunity to work with him once, and I mean, I got the opportunity to work with all of you guys once, and it was an amazing opportunity. So is that the cemetery is the only, that one, you said Meyer Cemetery, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that the only place that you guys have been that you guys can talk about, or is it just kind of, and I really want to ask this because I know some teams, how can I put this? They don't like spirit boxes. They're very much against them. That's their business, not mine. But I mean, how much stock do you guys put into those?
Well, I mean, you can't. When you're asking a question and you're getting a relevant answer, an answer to that question, you get kind of wondering, is it really is somebody, talking to you?
Especially if they carry a conversation with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like the Robinson Cemetery we went up to, there was a what was his name? Robinson. Mr. Robinson. He apparently was
Joe.
Joe. I think it was Joe Robinson. A friend of ours told us about the cemetery, and he had a connection with this particular grave for some reason. I think
shared a birthday.
they shared a birthday. That's right. So when we had a spirit box session, we were trying to communicate with Joe, and we told him that there was, a friend that had the same birthday as him that shared it. And the spirit box responded, how about that? And that was, it started responding and giving us different answers to the questions we were getting.
We did get a response one time that was outside of the spirit box. We had the spirit box running, and we didn't hear it until we played back the video footage.
Mhm.
It didn't come from the spirit box. It came from somewhere else.
Yeah. Going back to Meyer Cemetery,
Meyer, yeah.
we kept on getting this like a gruffy old man voice, and it wasn't coming through the spirit box. It was coming through our camera. So yeah, like she's saying, you didn't hear it until you got home and watched the video. Then you would hear it. Every time we went up there, we got the same voice. You know, one time it's what do you say? Hey you. I think he said, "What are you doing here?" or something like that.
What do you want?
What do you want? That was one of them. He wasn't very nice. He didn't seem friendly. There is a story back with somebody was doing some geocaching, and they ran into an old man. They were looking for that cemetery, and they ran into an old man on the side of the road, and he wasn't too friendly about them going up to that cemetery. Well, the story turned into a paranormal thing because after they were talking to the guy, they pretty much blinked and the guy was gone. And they said it was an older man. You're out in the middle of the woods. How can somebody move that quick without making a noise? So they kind of think it was paranormal. So we don't think it's an evil spirit that's up there. I think it's more
like a guardian of the
guardian, like a protector to the whole family. You know, because that was the only one that was giving us a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that definitely makes sense. So basically you guys didn't really get any of that until you guys got home and then reviewed your evidence, is from what I'm understanding. Right. Okay, let's go back to the orbs. Okay, and there's a reason why I'm asking this, because there's plenty of people out there that are like, okay, well, I don't believe in those. I don't believe in those. I don't believe in those. Okay, I believe in those. Obviously, you guys believe in those. But what, I guess, did you capture any of those orbs on video, camera?
Camera.
Just basically on the camera. I think there's a certain setting with these newer cameras they have out. They're pretty much equipped to get rid of the imperfections, so it's harder to catch them on video camera. But for some reason, when you take a still shot, they show up more.
Well, I found that interesting because I was on FaceTime earlier with a friend of mine, and he is in, I think he says he's in Nebraska. I can never remember where he's at sometimes because he travels a lot. And he was showing me this store that he was at, and he was trying to deal with a pendulum, and all I seen was nothing but orbs like around him. And I'm like, you need to stop, stop, like move your head a little bit. I mean, maybe I was just crazy about that. But, I always find that interesting, and I wish I would have gotten that, on camera. Because, I mean, like I said, I've caught orbs on camera before, and they've always been very interesting to me. So, and Chris just said, he goes, sorry, let me go back to his comment real quick. And it says, I know orbs are real. I have spoke to them. So, I mean, have you guys, spoke to any orbs or anything like that? Or can you say that they were somebody from that cemetery, or maybe like one of your loved ones? Or, I mean, what do you guys put into that? I guess I should be asking.
I don't know. I mean, I think with orbs, I think they're kind of like energy that the spirits use, maybe. That's not necessarily the orbs being the spirit themselves, but maybe, I don't know, maybe, because I noticed that when we do get orbs, we start getting activity in other things, apparitions start popping up, then you start getting voices on your camera, temperature starts changing, so I think when we start talking, we're not really talking to maybe the orb itself, but maybe the entity that's using the orb for energy. I could be completely wrong on it, but
Well, I mean, I think when it comes to the paranormal, I think that we all have our own theories of what orbs are. And like, for an example, I always are always concerned about the color of the orbs that I see. And I will tell you this, I had this little chihuahua that was like my whole entire world. And one day I was just kind of missing him. And all I seen was this green orb just come. And I'm like, okay, now I know that it's you, to let me know that you're okay. And I know that sounds crazy. Okay. But this dog, I swear, was my soulmate, which is kind of weird. But and I was like, okay, no, it's comforting to me. Now, if I were to see a red orb, I'm running for the hills. I'm not going to lie. Okay. And that's just my thing. And I've noticed with working with my dolls and stuff like that, if there's an orb that is probably not a good color, I'm out for right now. I just stop what I'm doing.
What would you think if you've seen a red one with a spiral in it?
You know, I haven't seen one of those. And I guess I haven't really looked into that, but obviously for some apparent reason, I associate red with like this evil thing. And I shouldn't, but I personally do. And other people will say, no, it's something different. Or a green orb is, you know, connected to nature. And a white orb is like your loved one. Or yellow means changes. I mean, I guess it just all depends on the person. Because like I said, I've been to, you know, a haunted location where these white orbs are all over the place. And the next thing you know, I have a friend of mine who's like, I just felt like I got donkey punched in the chest. And when we went back to the video, all it was nothing but white orbs. And you could see it go right into him and right out. So in all actuality, maybe I'm wrong when it comes to the colors, but maybe that's in my head, that's what I want to believe. And that's my opinion. And I can't say that it's wrong. And I can't say that you guys are, you know, wrong either.
Right.
You know, right. Exactly. Because we don't technically, I mean, everybody says, okay, it's like, you know, it's a spirit. I mean, it could be anything at this point. We just don't, in my opinion, I don't think we 110% know.
Yeah. I know we would have to have at least 50 different paranormal teams doing the same investigation with the same orb to get the same result and actually, you know, set in stone, this is what it is. You know, everybody's getting different responses and different evidence, and, you know, nobody's really getting the same answer.
And I think, you know, and that's the good thing about the paranormal is I think that when we can all get together, you know, like this, and we can all say, okay, this is what happened to me. This is what happened to me here. And this is what, you know, and vice versa, however you want to word it. But I do believe 110%, we all had the same goal in mind. It's just how I don't want to say that you guys are wrong. And I know you guys don't want to say that I'm wrong. I guess it's just all, at the end of the day, it's just all what we believe. Right. You know, because I know that there's a team out there. I know you guys work with mediums. I know that for 110%. Like I do follow your team. I love your team. I will support your team. You know, but like I said, there's teams out there that say, no, I don't want to work with the medium because they can't be tested. And I kind of beg to differ on that to an extent. And as a person,
Uh-oh, you froze.
We are living in rapidly changing times that can leave you wondering what steps to take next. Let Christina Bloom, spiritual advisor, help you find the clarity you need to move forward with confidence. Christina is a psychic with more than 20 years of experience in spiritual guidance and mediumship. She can help you find the answers when you have important decisions to make. In addition, she also facilitates past and other life explorations and soul retrievals. For more information on Christina's services, as well as her extensive list of classes, please visit her website at ChristinaBloom.com. That's ChristinaBloom.com. To make an appointment or to book Christina now, send her an email, Christina@ChristinaBloom.com. That's Christina@ChristinaBloom.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Took a little short break there. Sorry. Should have let everybody know, but I didn't. I'm sorry. So anyways, like I was saying, we were talking about mediums, and I might have missed that answer. Like I said, a lot of people, there's teams out there that say, I don't want to work with a medium. I don't want to do this because you can't prove it. You know, they want to look at the scientific aspect of it. I mean, what is your guys' take on that?
What we like to do with our cases is the medium that we take with us, they don't know a thing about it. So when we go in and they start feeling things, then we know how accurate they are because they match the story that we already have. You know, does that make sense?
No, I mean, it completely makes sense. And like I said, everybody's different when it comes to how their team is. And there is a team out there that does not like to work with mediums. And I'm, you know, and I respect that. That is how they run their team. And I respect that. And I did see their point of view. And that's kind of why I was asking you guys how you guys felt about it. Because like I said, they don't believe in spirit boxes. They don't, you know, they don't believe in mediums, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's how they choose to run their team. And I, you know, and that's why I was asking you guys, you obviously guys like spirit boxes. Is there anything else that you guys do to try to communicate, or draw out, when you guys are out in the field, I should be asking?
Well, I mean, when you're going out into like the woods to abandoned places and cemeteries, you're kind of limited in what you can carry, you know, because you are going to be carrying it up, you're going to be carrying it back. And then when the night is over and you spend up, you know, you're up all night long, you're kind of tired and you got a trip to take back. So you kind of limit yourself on what you want to bring. So Jess and I always did like the spirit box. I like to upgrade and maybe get a better spirit box, but I mean, with some people have different views, you know, yeah, you may catch a radio wave and catch, you know, again, you can't pinpoint every single word on the spirit box and say it's paranormal because, you know, they're right. It could be something else. If it's answering the questions that's relevant, then, you know, then it has a little bit more.
Especially when the same voice keeps coming through.
Yeah, when you're talking to the same voice, because with the spirit box, it's just not sticking on one channel. It's doing a sweep. So if you're getting somebody that's talking to you, saying more than 2 or 3 words in one sentence at one time with the same voice, I mean, you can't necessarily say that's a radio station. Especially when it's, you know, sweeping through a bunch of different stations at once.
Right. And I understand that.
We like to do as many different things as we can do, and the mediums is just part of it, you know. I mean, you're going to take every avenue you can to try to figure out what's up, you know. So, I mean.
Yeah, you got to keep an open mind.
Yeah.
And try different things to see if you can get the same results.
As of lately, we've been doing the blind spirit box. Have you heard of that? Bill calls it paranormal hot seat. We've been doing that lately. That's a little bit of a freaky experience. It really sucks you in to it. I don't know. It almost puts you in a trance.
Yeah, you can be careful. You don't want to let the person sit under them headphones too long of a time because it probably could kind of mess with you a little bit. So we put each other blindfolded with headphones for maybe a couple minutes at a time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can stop at any time when you feel like you shouldn't go any farther, but, you know, You know, we always say in a distance, that way the person can actually not see it. I mean,
Not hear your question.
right.
Although I like video evidence.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like doing. I like
You
shooting
like-
a lot of video.
Mm-hmm.
You like the video portion of
Yeah.
it.
Because the
What
camera
makes-
always picks up stuff we don't see or can't hear when we're investigating. So, video evidence is the most credible. Yeah, credible.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Brett, what is the coolest video evidence that you've ever gotten?
I can't say. The hand around the tree was probably the coolest I thought. The best one I saw. That was just that was freaky. And it was also to elaborate on more. It was too high for us. So whoever looked that hand that came out had to be 8-9 feet tall.
Whoa.
No.
Let's go back to that real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, Cindy.
So what you're saying is this thing wasn't just like, you know, grabbing around a tree like, you know, somebody that's maybe like 5'7". We're talking about something that was like 8 feet.
Yeah,
It was up there. It might not be quite 8 feet, but it was tall. It was taller than me. And
yeah.
I'm 6'2".
And yeah, and you're a tall person. I mean, I know that because I've stood next to you before, and I felt like I was like a little person, you know. I mean, I'm already a short person as it is, but Brett, you're a pretty tall person. So if it's something bigger than you, I mean, who's gonna really climb a tree just to screw with you at the end of the day? I mean,
Right.
It would have been pretty hard to climb that tree because it was a wide tree.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like
Okay.
it was kind of like two trees that grew together. They kind of beat off on each other, but yeah,
So
the wide tree where it was.
where was it? Like a certain color? Maybe I missed that. Maybe you guys already said that. Could you guys make out the color of that hand?
It was probably gray and black.
It was like grayish color. Basically, it was on the we had the IR lights running, the night vision camera, so it gave it a white grainy look, but it looked solid. It actually looked like someone was actually standing there, pointing around the tree.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys knew that you guys were the only people there. I mean,
Oh yeah. It's
human people there. You know what I mean? Not just another person. I mean, I don't know how many people you had with you there, but I highly doubt. Brett's a tall guy.
Yeah, that night there was only 3 of us there, and we were all accounted for, and every one of us was on one side of the tree. The hand came out from the opposite side of the tree, like it was standing behind the tree. So, and with that particular scene, part of the video that we caught on, Cindy was there, and she was pointing outside towards the back part of the cemetery. We were actually standing in front of the tree, and she's like, "I feel cold. My hand's cold." And if you look closely, you can see a couple, or maybe orbs that come flying away from her arm. And that's when the hand came out and pointed, almost like it was pointing outside the cemetery.
Chris
It's on
said,
YouTube video.
Chris said if you play it back slow motion, it's chilling. The hand was pointing. He thought. So the hand was kind of like pointing at you. Is that what I'm understanding?
It was kind of pointing like
outside
the cemetery, because we was in the back part of the cemetery where the tree's at, and it was pointing outside the cemetery.
And that's
so basically it's pointing to basically say like, get the hell out of here. Is that kind of what you guys thought?
Well, the conversation we were having feelings, and Cindy was having feelings that maybe there was another grave that we didn't know about. Maybe something was on the outside of the cemetery. And while we were talking about that, that's when the temperature changed, and that's when the hand came out.
And that is also the general area where we caught the apparition and
the red orb.
It
was all in that
general area.
Well, and like I said, I've watched your YouTube video. I don't know how I missed that unless I guess I didn't play it slow. Maybe now I'm going to go after the show and then start playing it slow.
I think it's like towards the end of the video, like the last 20 minutes, I think it is. Something like that. So.
And you guys have what 2 other YouTube videos? You guys have 3 YouTube videos so far?
Actually, we got.
If you count the trailer, we have 6.
Yeah,
I do like your trailer. I'm not gonna lie, I really liked it. I seen it. I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. So can you guys talk about like, so basically, was it all just based on the cemetery? Because occasionally I look at your Facebook pages, and I see that you guys are doing you guys are very interesting places. Thanks for asking me if I want to go.
We'll get you down here and let's go.
I
A
know
lot
you
of
guys
these
will be
places,
really-
it's like a last minute
Yeah.
deal, and then we're scrambling
Right.
at the last minute trying to get everything together. Like the second time we went to Myers Cemetery, we almost didn't make it. My truck was breaking down. She got hit by a deer.
Yeah.
We had a lot of stuff going on at
What?
once.
Wait a minute. You got hit by a deer?
I
Or the
did.
deer? No. Now I want to hear the story. Way off topic. How did the deer hit you?
Because it was like really dark, and I was in an area where I was only going like 45 mile an hour because that was the speed zone. And I was going through there, and just out of the blue from the side, run into me and knocked my little old Geo off the road. Oh my God, it scared the crap out of me.
I'm sorry. That's not funny. It's not.
But it hit me.
But it's kind of, but it's you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it's kind of one of those things like, instead of saying, I hit the deer. No, that deer hit me. That's, like I always say, like birds, for some apparent reason, I always hit them. And it's like they're just waiting just to go, bam, I'm done. And I mean, I'd be like a really good, and they come out of nowhere. It's not my problem they hit my car. They hit me. I didn't hit them.
Right.
I mean, too bad you can't tell your insurance that.
Right.
I know. No, just like that time when we were in that investigation, I think it was Creve Coeur, and you got your truck. Oh my God, I felt so bad. I'll never forget that. It was so bad.
I want to know what kind of an asshole leaves a big ass pothole in his driveway.
That was a puddle. What a sinkhole.
That should have been our first indication when we got there that we probably shouldn't have been there. Starting
Right.
starting with Brett.
Red flag.
Yeah, we should have said, we're packing up. We're going home. We're done. That's it. No more. It was fun, I guess. That's all I gotta say about that. But I felt bad for him because he did. It's like his front end went down. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I was like, how are we gonna get him out of that? But it's always interesting when you go on an investigation because it seems like nothing ever goes right. In my opinion, because you plan and plan and plan, and then you're like, oh, like, a deer hits her, Brett's truck ends up in a big pothole in Creve Coeur.
The night before the investigation, she slipped on the stairs and fell down a couple stairs.
Fell down the stairs.
Yeah.
I was sore trying to make that damn half-hour walk.
Well, and through the woods, I would assume.
Yeah.
So I mean, because I see in that part, when you guys are walking through the woods, and I'm thinking, I wouldn't do that at night because I've lived, out, in the country, and for some apparent reason, I'm not afraid of a lot of things. But when it comes to the woods, you're gonna see my ass run like a bear's chasing me. I don't know why. I don't know why. Something about the woods, because it's always like, did you hear that? Did you see that? And honestly, I think sometimes it's just my mind playing tricks on me because it's really not even anything paranormal.
You wouldn't make it in the woods with us then, because Brett has a tendency to bring up the most god-awful horror movies that's woods related to mess with your head every time.
I just watched, what is it? It's Stephen King, The Stand last night. I think that's what it's called. That was the longest movie, and I'll never get that time back. And I was like, this is stupid. Just stupid. Like, this is supposed to be a horror movie. I don't even know what's going on. It's like I missed like a big chunk of it. I'm like, where did this guy come from? You know? But you know, I love Halloween. I really do. It's one of, you know, but I think for a lot of people, they think that like just because it's October, like the paranormal investigators just come out of the woodwork, and like that's all we care about is like, oh, the month of October. I understand the veil is thinner, but honestly, we do this year round. You guys know that.
Yeah, they
It's
just don't
fun.
pay attention till Halloween.
Well, that's the thing. They think we're like crazy people that just come out like, oh my God, there's so many ghosts around here. You guys have no idea. But they don't realize all year long, that's all we're doing. You know, and it's not just something, I can't say that's our whole entire lives, but it takes up a good chunk of our lives, our weekends.
Oh,
I
yeah.
call it the every chance we get. Like,
Right. And I see that you guys do. And I see that you guys, I don't know if I'm something about a bridge. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say anything about that.
Oh, yeah, you're fine.
You're fine.
But I really thought that was kind of cool. Did you guys get, I don't know if you guys can talk about it, but did you guys get anything cool while you guys were there?
Other than personal experiences, I don't think we caught a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm not
But
so
we're going
sure.
back again. We love the bridges.
Yeah.
The which bridge was that? The first one we went to, Bill had taken me to it a long time ago. And when I was walking across, I got about a third of the way over and I just felt dead stopped in my tracks. I couldn't cross the bridge. Got a real weird feeling. And
Also,
good.
also that bridge that we go to, it has a history of people being hanged there.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
When we were there one night, these teenagers were there, and this girl told us that the story was that people were hung from this certain part of the bridge. There was like a bar that stuck out off the bridge, and she said that's where they hung them from, and that's right about the spot where I was freezing up when I tried to cross. So I found that really interesting.
And I got an old friend that I went to school with. He's a police officer, works for the sheriff's department. And he couldn't give me no details, but he did say, yes, there's been some cases that there were hangings out there. So
And a suicide.
That was out there on that bridge.
Or are they probably open investigations, maybe?
No, I think this is from past.
Yeah.
I think it's from
Oh, okay. Well,
I
I
think he
do
wasn't
know.
for sure on how much he can disclose information. So he's like, yeah.
And then on the same bridge, Bill got an energy rushed him and scared the crap out of him.
Yeah.
Oh, no. See, now he's scared on a bridge. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm scared of the woods. He's scared of on a bridge. He's like, I'm running out.
I didn't run. I stood my ground. But yeah, it pretty much took when I was standing there, we were trying to do a spirit box session, and there was a response to the spirit box. And as soon as I got that response, I turned my head, thinking there was somebody standing behind me. And it was just me and Jess there. And Jess had the camera in her hand. So there shouldn't have been anybody behind me, but I looked behind me anyways. And when I did, it felt like somebody mad rushed me, like they were going to tackle me.
He jumped.
I jumped. I did jump. I was prepared to get hit.
You know what? Sometimes when you don't even know, like you're just like, wait a minute, what was that? Just you guys know I collect haunted dolls, right? And I got this doll, and I swear up and down that she's playing with my hair, and it's starting to freak me out a little bit. And I shouldn't be freaked out, okay? I shouldn't be freaked out, but it's unexpected because you're not expecting it, I guess. But again, I'm living with how many spirits? I mean, come on. I mean, something bounds, is going to touch me at one point. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I like the fact that you're playing with my hair, or maybe it's just creepy. I'm not sure 110% yet. I'll let you know. Oh, but I was going to ask you guys this, okay? And I want your take on it, okay? Again, it's going to go back to a doll. We all know this, okay? So, and I want your take, and I want your honest to God opinion. So according to a friend of mine we're just not going to, I'm not going to say his name, but he is claiming that, because there's a doll, obviously, Jess, I sent you the message and I said, oh my gosh, I think I'm a nut job. Okay. And it said something about during that exorcism, the doll passed. Her name was Natalie. Okay, she passed during that exorcism, so it's not it never was actually carried out. Okay, and so basically, she died with this demon still in her. Okay, but from what we know, as far as demons go, they eventually have to find a new
Like a
host.
Yeah.
So in your take, what would you say, that this doll still has a demon attached to it, or it's just the demon's gone now because does this demon still attached to this spirit?
I mean,
I just want you guys your opinion, because I have my own opinion.
That's a
And
good question.
that is a good question, but you got Abigail, or not Abigail, Annabelle, the doll. You got Robert the doll, which is the same story. The child was with this doll, and when the child died, so maybe being the host to it,
I can't imagine a child spirit being.
trapped in a doll. But
Well, I mean, that probably can happen, but I don't imagine a child spirit being hateful like a demon would be.
right.
But let's put it this way. We're all hateful in some sort of way, right? Like my 4-year-old is a little hateful. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. He is a little hateful. Okay, he's just hateful. But I guess my question would be, let's say that it did, okay? So by bringing this doll into my home, am I setting myself up for total chaos?
That's a very highly
Yes.
good possibility. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you doing anything to protect yourself from these dolls? Are they in cases? Are they
Okay, let me tell you
bound?
something. Okay.
Are they just chilling with
So-
you?
No, and the only reason I was asking, because it was a very the argument started kind of. I don't want to say that we got into this fight about this, and yes, I do. I would. Okay, fine. You want to use debate? I call it an argument. Same thing. You guys know me. You know how it goes. But I guess to me he's like, there's no possible way, but there is a possible way, because just like Bill said, anything can, attach itself to whatever. It needs a host. If this doll is technically spirited, okay, let's say that demon didn't go anywhere and that demon is still attached to that spirit. But like I said, Bill is right. Annabelle, Robert, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy shit has happened, with those dolls.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, we all know that demons they were never in human form. So I guess it's kind of like one of those things, like, I'm not investigating this doll till your asses are with me, because I ain't touching that. Okay, I draw the line someplace. No, and I want your take on it, because like I said, as paranormal investigators, we don't know what we can, we could go to a haunted location or somebody's house and they say, there's something wrong with that doll. Well, I don't know. There's something wrong with that picture. I don't know. I mean, what did you put in there? What did you summon? Because we all know we've been on an investigation where that guy summons whatever. I can't, a succubus, or I can't remember. What was it? A succubus? I can't remember.
Incubus or something.
Yeah, something like that. And honestly, it's not like I'm summoning this, but I'm curious on, that whole demon doll aspect. And I kind of wanted your take, like what you guys thought, because me personally, I don't even think it's like anything demonic, in my opinion. I mean, you would assume that as soon as somebody dies, it just kind of moves on to something else, or another doll or another person, because we would assume that they would have to have that host. Right. Am I correct?
It'll start haunting your house. You'll start noticing pictures falling off the wall. Your refrigerator empty.
Cabin doors open.
Cabin doors open, dishes flying out. It'll make itself known.
But I guess, okay, but hear me out. Couldn't you say that that's poltergeist activity?
Yeah, and if the entity that's there is strong enough, it could be poltergeist.
Okay, now let me ask you guys this one, considering we were talking about poltergeist now. Now, do you guys believe that teenage girls, and we all know I know we all have girls, okay? We all know this.
Yeah.
Ugh. And sometimes you just want to rip your hair out.
That's
But
a
I guess
horror
what I'm
film.
asking, it is a horror show. We just make a movie on those. Like,
Yep.
oh, they're like little demons that come at you, and they just don't. But I guess what I'm asking is, do you believe, and I know some people believe this, that when teenage girls hit puberty is when poltergeist activity starts, like in your home? Because I know some people believe that. And I'm kind of curious on your take on that.
I don't believe
Don't
I've
think I've ever heard that one.
Yeah, that's new to me.
Okay, so I've heard it before, and that's why I was asking. And usually, some kids, and they're just, it's girls. It's not boys. It's just girls for some apparent reason. Like if you notice, I don't know, maybe you guys didn't notice. Sometimes I notice, like when my daughter gets really mad, the lights start flickering. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell did you do that for? And I know that sounds crazy. And you're like, oh, I wonder if it's a light bulb, And that's why I was asking.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get so much
energy.
if the teenage girl is producing so much energy, whether it's negative energy or what, it's got to go somewhere. And what is that called? It's like they're manifesting it.
Right.
It's not really paranormal, but they're manifesting that energy and they may not. You don't even know they're doing it. They may not know they're doing it.
Okay, and then that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever. I mean, obviously, you said you guys have never heard of it, and I know some people believe that. I kind of have a hard time believing that, and just myself, and I'm just saying that because honestly, again, I always look at it when I'm going through, like, okay, the lights are flickering. There has to be a reason why. Is my light bulb going out?
Mm-hmm.
Did somebody leave my cabinet door open? It's a possibility. You know what I mean? Maybe
Right.
I did. I'm forgetful, just like the rest of us. And I was curious on what you guys thought about that.
I mean, it's kind of hard to take when you got more than one person living in the house, or you might have somebody who's joking around doing it to you on purpose.
Hey, I'm not disputing that. Like I said, it was just a question. Don't kill the messenger.
No,
No, I'm just messing with you guys.
Yeah.
You just don't know. But if you're in the house by yourself and the same stuff is happening, doors are opening and stuff like that. Me personally, I'd be setting up cameras.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that that's what has happened in my house. I'm just talking about. I chalk it up as my light bulb's probably going out.
Right,
you know what I mean? Because let's just be honest. Just because a light flickers doesn't necessarily mean that.
We had an investigation at someone's house a little while ago, and they had the same situation where light bulbs would flicker. One light particular, and it would flicker like it was going out, and they would change it, put a brand new bulb in it, and it would still do the same thing. Well, my first reaction is it's electrical. There's wiring. Do you want to take a chance and just say it's paranormal, or call an electrician and come in and have it checked out? Because it could be something faulty. And if the electrician comes out and says there's nothing wrong with it, you're good to go, and then your light bulbs are still flickering, well then maybe it's time to move.
It's just time to move. I'm not going to help you. Just move, okay? Find a new home. No, and I was just asking, like I said, because some people always have a reasoning behind, something. And I know a lot of people, how can I put this without sounding really crappy, is they want paranormal stuff to happen in their home, okay?
There are people like that, yeah.
And sometimes I think that they actually do summon stuff. And I think this is where we're going into, like I said, the doll situation or, teenager situation, like a teenager, they're all, doesn't matter. I don't care what anybody says. I think females and male teenagers, they're all full of hormones anyways. So, I mean, that's where I think that the line right there is kind of odd. What makes the girl different than the boy, as far as the hormones? And, I think that technically, in my opinion, can be debunked.
Yeah.
You know, and that's always, you know, what I look at too. And then, like I said, a lot of people do want paranormal activity in their house and they have no problem summoning something. And that's where I think, where I have the problem. You summons it, now you get rid of it. And I know that sounds really shitty to say, but we've all been on that investigation. We know this.
Yeah.
Okay. And you summons it, now you get rid of it. Why did you call us? I mean, you weren't, you know what I mean? You knew exactly what you were doing. And I think that's where I have the problem. Why do you want paranormal activity in your home? And I know a lot of people say, okay, well, you have haunted dolls. I also have rules for the spirits that live in my home. You know, like, don't screw with my kids. I do like to sleep, you know, so on and so forth. Let yourself be known. You can roam around my house. Just don't fucking freak me out. You know what I mean? Like, just leave it alone.
Right.
Don't
Right,
open
yeah.
anything. You know what I mean? There's boundaries, but I know what I got myself into, where some people are like, nope, I'm going to take out that Ouija board and I'm going to start summoning whatever, you know, and I think that's, you know, that becomes a problem though, too. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you guys.
I think that's a lack of knowledge, a lack of just educating themselves. And I think they really don't know what they're doing when they do that, you know, because if they knew what they were doing, they wouldn't do it in the first place.
I didn't think so.
You wouldn't think so. And you would find out how you would try to, you know, stop it, close the door or whatnot, you know, not just, oh, they're out, I'm being messed with, I need to make a phone call. Because they really don't know what to do because they didn't do any research.
Right.
But in all actuality, like I said, I'm not really sure why. I mean, I completely understand what you're saying, Bill. I, like, completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you had to get that idea someplace.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so if you're, let's say they're reading it off the internet, because we all know this day you can find anything on the internet. And let's say that they did it. Okay. Or, you know, and I'm not going to lie, this is kind of the creepiest thing I've ever seen. On Etsy, okay, they have people that will cast spells for you. Like, you want me to give you $70 to, who would buy that? You know, now you're asking for something. Are you asking for it, or are you just wanting somebody else to do it? Because we all know that it's going to come back. But is it easier for them to say, this was my favorite, I'm not going to lie to you. Somebody was offering money, or not offering money. They wanted like $80 to summons a succubus or an incubus. Okay. And I'm like, what the hell would you want one of those for? How are you going to get rid of it if you don't want it now?
Right.
Right.
Those are incredibly hard to get rid of.
Why?
Dangerous.
They're dangerous. I think it's an attention getter. They're bored. You know, they don't know what's going on. Maybe they feel forgotten or something. I don't know. I think they're just doing it for an attention. Like, they're going to do it. They believe maybe that's not going to happen. You know, like, yeah, I'm going to do this, and they're back in their head. It's like, it's not going to work. And then they're surprised it's working, and now they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But you just paid for it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, go back to the person that you paid for. You know, that they, you know, like, hey, you know, maybe I don't want this anymore, but hey, I'll give you another $80. I want it gone. You know, but see, that's the thing. They know what they're doing. And that's just my opinion. I think they know what they're doing. But then they call us in, and then they're just like, well, get rid of it. There's only so much that, as paranormal investigators, that we can, you know, we can do. We can't.
Right.
We can't cure it all, you know.
No. And
No.
I believe that sometimes, I believe that if you're summoning it, you're pretty much the only one that's got the power to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we can be there and be on your side and back you up, but you're the one that's got to do it. You're the one that summons it. You're the one that's got the power. You can get rid of it.
Hey, you know, like I said, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like, why even bother calling us? You're the one that did it. I didn't do it. Like, just like, okay, well, let's use a Ouija board for an example. not everybody can do, everybody can, use the board. And some people, and I will be the first one to admit, I use the board. You guys know this. I use them for my haunted dolls. But I don't just sit here and be like, I'm going to summon the devil tonight. No, I'm not going to do that. Come on, because then I'd be calling you guys like, I don't know what I did. And you would tell me, hey, you did it to yourself because you're an idiot. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like, and that's where I think I have the most problem, like in the paranormal field. It's like if you summons it yourself, and Bill's right, get rid of it yourself. So, I mean, that's just my opinion.
I mean, we'll do the best we can to try to send you in the right direction to do that, but we can't really do it.
I'd be like, you need to call a priest. Like, don't call me. Call a priest.
Well,
Yeah.
Call Brett. He's a demonologist.
right.
That's up your alley, Brett, not ours. But I'm gonna let you guys go for the night. Okay. And it was great talking to you. And everybody go to their YouTube page. Go ahead, tell me what that is again. And then I know you guys have a phone number, and I know you guys have a Facebook page, so we need to get that out.
The YouTube channel is SWPI Pekin. Simple enough. Then we get the Facebook, which is Something Wicked Paranormal Investigations. And then our phone number,
which I never can remember offhand. A second. Is
309-512-3136. Call that number.
leave
a message because we might not be able to get to the phone right away. And as soon as we hear the message, we'll get a hold of you.
Oh, and I know you guys are selling T-shirts too, and you guys can order those through you guys as well.
Yep.
on Facebook. Just get hold of us on Facebook if you want one.
Just message
Okay.
us. They're $20 a piece, up to, unless you want to, what is it?
I think 3X.
3X.
Is 23.
If you want the 3X or more, and then it's $23.
And if we have to ship it, it's $5 extra. So for shipping.
Hey, that's
A lot of our shirt buyers have been local, so we've been fortunate not to have to pay the shipping yet.
Yeah. We got a couple of them going out too.
Yeah, we have a couple going to Florida,
And
one to Indiana, I think, and then
and
that's
that's a huge thing, if you got them all over, going all over the place. Yeah, it's a good way.
It really surprised me, to tell you the truth, how it took off like that. I wasn't really expecting that much.
We've got people on our Facebook page from the UK and Nigeria. Where else was there? There were some weird ones.
Yeah, there were some different countries out there, and they're responding to us, and that's what, a lot of times you get get them from different countries. You don't really hear nothing from them, but Jess here, she keeps putting out memes and doing roll calls, and they have no problem responding to us. So.
And like I said, I've checked out you guys' Facebook page. I think it's a really cool Facebook page, and plus I know how to get a hold of you guys personally anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Right.
We might have our website up next week.
You what?
Yeah.
We might have our website up next weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll have a website up.
And you guys will post that on your Facebook page as well?
Oh, yes. Yep.
Okay. And like I said, I enjoy having you guys on the show. I love talking to you guys. You guys are awesome. But again, we're going to do it again. You guys know this, because I know you guys will pump out those YouTube videos, and we'll just keep talking about them.
Right on. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Thank
Thanks for having us.
Everybody have a wicked weekend.
Thanks.